November 17th, 2011 was a day that changed my life forever. Matter of fact, it not only changed it forever, but it changed it in an instant. And basically what happened is I fell 18 feet off a 2-story roof. When I landed, I fractured many bones, I broke many bones, I damaged lower vertebrae in my spinal cord and ribs, and had some head injuries as well. The good news in all of this, though, is that I'm alive today, and I'm very grateful for that. But what happened from it is what actually gave birth to the Monthly Wisdom Program. So here 6 months I couldn't work. I was going through rehabilitation and all of those type of things, and it gave me a lot of time to think and be very introspective about my life and where I was going and what I wanted to do next. And so from that process, I began to think, I want to do something that's going to revolutionize the coaching industry. I want to do something that's going to make a real big difference in people's lives. And so the Monthly Wisdom Program was birthed. What I discovered was this, and what I know for truth is this, that people who are highly successful, really high achievers, they read for 30 minutes every single day. That's something that's important in their life. That's a high value for them. And they really put a high value on learning. The flip side to that is this, that most Americans, over 70% of Americans today, read less than one book a year. So the challenge is that most Americans are not improving their lives. And so the Monthly Wisdom Program is going to give people a chance to be able to really develop themselves and go to that next level. So here's what I found out. The Monthly Wisdom Program is basically a group coaching experience. And we take one book a month. We have a different theme every single month. So if you can picture 12 months, every single month is a different book. And from that, every book has a different theme. So it'll deal with your financial part of your life, or your mental part of your life, your emotional part of your life. It'll deal with your relationships, your career, all of those things. So it's going to be a very holistic approach to coaching. Imagine what your life would be like in 12 months if you read one book a month and it had to do with a different theme every single month. Imagine where you would be. So there's 2 coaches that are involved in this, myself, Rich Cavanis, and Derek Sweet. Derek Sweet is the founder of the Certified Coaches Federation, and both of us are certified master coach practitioners. We both have a cumulative of over 30 years of personal development and coaching experience. And so we spend time with you every month to help you through this process. And I'll explain that more here in just a minute. And one of the things that the Monthly Wisdom Program is based off of is the concept of learn, apply, and excel. So what you're going to do every month is you're going to learn principles from the book that you're reading, and then through coaching and webinars and videos and emails and all of those things, you're going to learn to apply those things to your life. And in turn, your life is going to go to the next level. So really, what I believe the Monthly Wisdom Program is, it's the new Uber of coaching. Because of the delivery, because of the cost effectiveness, which we'll get into here in just a minute, everything about it is completely different than your traditional coaching motives. So here's what I know. 87% of employers believe today that retention is very critical priority. As a matter of fact, I was reading on LinkedIn today an article just before I came here that there's communities that are actually paying for people to move there to go to work. It's a very competitive workforce today. Unemployment's at a record low. The economy's doing great, and so wages are going up, and it's a very competitive workforce today. And so what I'm trying to do is create a program that will help employers be able to retain their best employees. Here's another interesting fact. 46% of employees are bored due to limited learning personal development opportunities. So the Monthly Wisdom Program is a perfect fit for an employer to be able to incorporate that into their employee benefits so people are developing themselves on the job. So personal development of employees helps retention, culture, productivity, and leadership. And so basically what I'm proposing here is that instead of a business spending money on seminars and conferences, sending people to Vegas and LA and Florida to go to these skill building conferences, why not invest in their personal development? Take more of a human perspective on it, and instead of wasting all that money, now spend it on something that's going to make a difference in their life. And so basically the Monthly Wisdom Program works like this. It's a 30-day process. You get an intro video that introduces you to the book theme. You get an intro email that helps you to explain how many pages you're going to read each day, each week, and what the schedule will be. You get a coaching video at the end of every week that will help you to apply some of these principles, as well as the assignment that you'll get every week as well. You'll get a video synopsis at the end of the month, and then you get 2 coaching calls a month with Rich and Derek that are 60 minutes in length. And then you'll have a weekly thought of inspiration and a Facebook support group. Now, what's very interesting about this is that the entire system of the Monthly Wisdom Program services are equivalent to 5 hours of coaching. Most businesses spend about $500 to $1,000 an hour for executive coaching. This is completely radical compared to that. So you get 5 hours of coaching, which would cost about $1,200 a month. With the Monthly Wisdom Program, it's $97 a month, or $1,200 a year per person or per employee. So really what the Monthly Wisdom Program is doing is that it's changing the way that an employer would look at offering employee benefits. So they get them involved with personal development. It'll change the culture. It'll change the retention. It'll help with production. All of those things will be improved by developing their employees rather than paying for them to go to skill build. They can actually develop their lives on a more personal level. Here you go.
Rich, great job. Thank you very much for presenting and keeping the time frame. That was awesome.
Good.
One thing you and I had talked about, I think we need to convey to the audience is, what's your target market?
Target market is businesses that have between 10 or more employees, where they really are struggling keeping them and keeping good people and offering them employee benefits. This would be a really great fit for a business like that. So anybody with 10 or more employees.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to open up to the audience for questions, and remember, please have the microphone in front of you as you ask the question so we can have it on the video. First up.
Thanks for being here today and great presentation. Where are you in your entrepreneurial journey with this business right now?
Yeah, very good question. So basically, we have everything completely developed. It's completely ready to roll out. We've put 10 or 12 individuals through it, no businesses as of yet, but 10 or 12 individuals so that we could work out all the bugs and everything with the website, the delivery, all of those kind of things. So everything is ready to roll. It's all automated and it's ready to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love the concept. I think it adds a lot of value to people's lives. I know from firsthand experience. And the challenge with anything like this is what is your method for accountability or getting that follow through? Because it's in the creating that activity into a habit over time that you get your result.
Yeah, great question. And Matt and I actually talked about this. What an employer is going to need to do is we'll have to do an employee assessment before we start. And what we're going to do is we'll do one at the beginning of every month, because the only way that you can actually find out if this is working is to have them do some type of an assessment at the beginning and then have them do it at the end. If there's improvement, then you can say, yes, then it has value to it, it's working, right? So that's what we would be doing, is an actual assessment with each employee as they go through it at the beginning of the month and at the end, so that I can actually show the business owner, hey, your $97 a month is being well spent. That answer your question, Raul? Okay, all right.
Well, my question was very similar to Raul's, and also thank you so much for being here. I thought it was great, and it was a lot of information, but you literally did it in less than 6 minutes, so that's awesome. So my question was going to be about the metrics as well. So you said that there will be an assessment, but what are some of the types of criteria that would be in that assessment?
So it would be things like, for example, if the theme for the month, the first book is called Keys to Success, The 17 Principles of Personal Achievement by Napoleon Hill. So what we would do is we would put the assessment together based on that book. So every month the assessment will be completely different based on the theme. So we'll ask them initial questions of kind of where they're at in their life with that theme. So for example, on the financial part, we would ask them kind of where they're at financially, and do you save? How's your relationship with your spouse on this? That type of thing. And then at the end, we can say, did you improve in these areas? So the assessment would be specific to the book and the theme that month.
And is the book and the theme specific to the business?
Yeah, well, actually what it is, I actually figured this question would come up, so I printed this out. So for example, one of the things that went through my mind when I was injured and I was thinking about this is that several people had known that I was reading a lot and kind of developing myself again, kind of reinventing myself, so to speak. And they asked me, well, if you had 12 books that you were going to tell someone to read, what would be those 12 books? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, of all the millions of books that have been written and all the self-help personal development books, what would I do? So what I did is I literally put together a track that if I was to tell you, if you read these 12 books, your life will never be the same again in 12 months. So I just wanted to tell you, here's what the 12 books are very quickly. So I told you the first month is Keys to Success, the 17 Principles of Personal Achievement by Napoleon Hill. Second book is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Dr. Susan Jeffers. Third month is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Fourth month is Healthy at 100 by John Robbins. Fifth month is High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. Sixth month is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Month number 7 is Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Month number 8 is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. Month number 9 is Margin, Restoring Our Overloaded Lives by Dr. Richard Swenson. Month number 10 is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Month number 11 is First Things First by Stephen Covey and the Merrills. That's a time management book. And then month number 12 is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So basically what I did is I took the 8 areas of a person's life, let's see here, right there, those 8 areas, and I put together a personal development track that would hit every one of those areas. So it's really a very holistic approach for your employees and to help people run their business.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that list that you put together. So I hate to be negative about my upcoming question here. So,
No negative questions.
Right.
I'm an open book.
I'm a positive person, but I just wanted to warn you that. So as an employee, now you work with my manager and you said, okay, I'm investing $100 in Nancy. And so my manager is going to know everything about me, right? Good, bad, or ugly. How are you going to keep that separate from my job? Because I want my job to be just my job, nothing to do with personal. And so that's the privacy
question. Yep.
concern that I would have.
Okay.
And then what if I don't accomplish this? My manager is going to look bad down on me and say, she can't even finish this. You know, maybe it's time for her to get out of here.
Okay, very good question. So this is not meant to be a group share. This is meant to be able to help you to improve your life. The benefit that the employer is offering you is wherever you're at in your life, we want to help you improve it. So, because everybody's on a different level, and you know, with each of these areas, and that's the beauty of it. So it's not like your manager is going to be knowing personal things about you. As a matter of fact, the way the program's designed is that every single person in the business, from the owner to the managers to the laborers, employees, whatever, however you want to refer to them, everybody's going through it at the same time. So actually what it's going to do is generate conversations that hopefully will really build community, you know, kind of build a tribe sort of. So it's going to build more of a culture within the workforce. So it's not meant to be a group share. It's not meant to be group coaching or group counseling. So that's not the premise. It's going to be between, if anything, it would be between you and me and Derek, where if you had a question, you could email us and we could help you with that.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and as an author, I always love anybody who's trying to sell more books. A couple things. I would do a critique and a question. As a critique, your delivery is fantastic, your speaking is fantastic, you've got it all personal presence. I almost wish you didn't have the slides because there was so much text, I caught myself reading it and not paying attention to you. So my recommendation going forward is get as much out of the text out of there as possible. Get us some graphics or something because it's really taking away from what's really a great delivery.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
The second would be is your target market. I'm in a startup that's got fewer than 10 people.
Okay.
This seems like a tough market to pry dollars out of. That's what I was sitting through that going. I was wondering what's the secret sauce to get people who are already pinching pennies to release a few.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. Are you going to spend money anyway to skill build or to send people to seminars to help them get better at what they're doing?
Maybe.
Okay. Most businesses do. As a matter of fact, on average, the average business today is spending about $1,200 per employee, and that's why I hope that you caught what I did there. $1,200 per year is what they're spending on an employee now to go and do skill building and all of those things. What I'm proposing is you don't need to do the skill building. The skill building will come and it'll actually become more organic as you build them on a personal level. So instead of spending so much time on skills and trying to get better at your job, help them to develop themselves personally and their skills will actually rise. It's a proven fact in the personal development industry that you will only get better to the point of which you develop yourself. So if you're only developing yourself up to this point, then you're never going to rise above that. So the only way to actually improve is to keep learning and keep developing. So that's my message to employers is let's because today the culture's changed. It's things have really changed in the workforce. The employees actually have more power than the employers do as far as wages and those kind of things because they can leave. There's so much competition out there now. There's so many opportunities. It's up to the employer now to make some changes in how they deliver benefits and those type and the workforce culture and how that's going to work for them to develop the people that they actually have.
Fantastic presentation. 2 questions, please. One, is your program tailored to individuals based on their age or their personal situation? Number 2, at the end of the year, do you have any benchmarks for the decision maker to understand, hey, before they took the program, this is a report-like thing where they were on these areas after the 12 months investment, this is where they are, so that, hey, I got the right ROI to continue that? Or is it more like a 1-year program and that's it?
No, it's not just a 1-year program and that's it. And as far as benchmarks, I just launched this in February, so I actually I do not have any kind of a benchmark that I can share with you right now at this moment of results. What I can tell you is of the 12 people that have gone through it, their comments have been that they've never read a book like this before. It's a very unique approach to actually get coached reading a book, because most of us read a book, and within 30 to 45 days, we forget what we've read. That's what most people do. And so what we're doing is actually coaching you through the book, so you're actually applying what you're reading. So it's a different approach that way. So what I think what will happen is that between us and the employer, we're going to develop those benchmarks. So we'd probably get together with them at the beginning and say, what's your expectations? What are some things that we can shoot for? And then we can go down that process and that journey together.
Okay. And just a prior question, is the program same for all individuals, or do you tailor it per any parameters?
Well, I would say that it definitely is going to be probably, 18 or over, I'm guessing. I mean, I did a program for some high school seniors this year, and I went through the 17 principles of personal achievement with them, and it was a great success. I mean, it went well. Collin College wants to have me teach that same program. So I think it's a little, but I teach it differently than what I'm going to do with employees or employers. So, yeah.
All right.
Hey, Rich,
Yes,
I've long been envious of how well you speak, and you did it again today, so thank you for that. Very easy to listen to and very informative. How do you market, network your services?
Right now, currently, I have a social media manager, Emily Height from the Height of Productions. She's helping me with that. I'm going to a lot of networking meetings. That's probably the one question that needs to be asked is, how can we as a community help you? That's what's coming next, right?
Yeah, you're stealing our thunder.
I'm sorry,
do that
because
at the
that
end.
actually transitions with Scott, because what I need help with and what I told Matt that I need help with, I need an employer to say, I like the concept, I think this thing could really work, I'm going to take a chance on you and I want to do this with you. That's what I need. Because once I get into a business, I know that it's going to work. I have no doubts in my mind. And so they can take a chance. We can do like a 3-month. We could just do it for a quarter. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work for them. But they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You know what I mean? It can be really beneficial for their employees to be able to see that my employer actually cares about me personally. And that's a big thing, if you think about that. Changing the culture from employer to employee and actually having an employee say, I feel like my employer cares about me as a person, not just about how I do my job. That's a shift, that's a mind shift. And so I'm hoping that through the Monthly Wisdom Program, that's what will be accomplished.
Since you're looking to do a pilot, are you actively promoting that idea that you're open to doing a pilot for 3 months or 6 months in your social media?
That's what I'm doing today.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just, this initial launch was really meant for individuals. And what I've discovered is that a lot of small business owners, like less than 10 employees, just a small business owner, they're so overwhelmed with just trying to do everything they're doing. Most of them aren't able to have, they're not making time for something like this. And so that's why my vision now has gone to the next level, and that is, okay, I believe this will actually help employers with employees. So let's go there. So that it's kind of evolved. And so that's why I'm here asking for that kind of help. That's where I could really use the help.
Fantastic. I do have one question. We'll make this the last question, and then Matt will come up and introduce our
I
community
do think
spotlight.
somebody in the back had another question.
One more? Well, I'll make this really quickly. You did say your target audience is businesses, and I am wondering why you don't have like a tiered structure or, a multi-program offering where individuals could go through the program. A lot of people are interested in self-help and
Yes.
self-development, especially people like the ones in our audience today. So I actually think that you should offer it as an individual program as well and allow people to do their own assessments.
Good comment, good observation. If you go to the website, monthlywisdomprogram.com, you'll see that it is completely set up for individuals. That's the way it's actually set up.
This week is Small Business Week, right?
Yeah.
Have you presented at the Chambers of Commerce?
Yes,
Are you-
I attend 6 different chambers a week.
Have you register yourself as a small businesses, and have you planning on attending the small business conference at the big one? What is that conference at downtown that you should go to promote yourself? No, it's at the K. Billy Hutchison Conference Center.
Well, there's a Small Business Expo that comes every year.
Exactly.
I was at that.
Right, and then
Aaron Smith does the Entrepreneurial
Right.
Summit. That's in June.
that's in June.
I'll be doing that as well.
Right. The study is exhibiting products that you should maybe check that out.
Okay. I would love to talk with you about more opportunities. I don't propose to know everything. I would love to hear more about what I can do. So. Scott is one of my fellow chamberees. He can tell you I buy breakfast. I do everything I can, right? So,
Rich, we're going to go ahead and close this off, and we can ask her more questions at the end of the meeting today. But thank you again for the information. Very informative and great presentation.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.